Greetings everyone, welcome to this new build guide. We're gonna take a look at my favorite Carino here. Before we get started, I'm just gonna show this off. I have the wrong skill on, but it's gonna get up to trillions anyway because I have so much damage. This build should have right now in my defensive setup over 10 trillion, so somewhere between 10 and 15 trillion. I am sadly number second. I took the number one spot. I should switch around the talents so I can actually get my number one spot again, but it is what it is. I just want to show a map here real fast, how it works, and we can talk about how the build works. All you do is just run and use the movement skill. It's not super fast, but when you have this much damage, which I had with very little investment, you can just use there's a lot of pets that have movement speed on them as special effects, and there's it's a lot of ways of getting extra movement speed in these kind of builds. So if you're not if you're at my point, I'm just doing bossing right now, so I'm not really worrying too much about the movement speed. So just run here and then just use your movement skill. And when you're using your movement skill, it also resets the bullets. You can see that in the bottom left here. So that's why you need a lot of cooldown on your movement skill, so you can spam it more often. If I use the other movement skill, which I should be having on, it's even more rapid when I run this. So this is it. All I do is then do this and then dark search here at the end. Let's just skip it. No good rewards, like always. So that's the general gist of the build. I could give you this version, but I'm not completely done with it. I have still some upgrades to be done. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. We might talk about it a little bit here and there, but we're gonna take a look at my previous update. Is it this one? Yeah, let's take a look at this one. This was a fairly budget option. These are not very expensive. See, these are the mandatory uniques. I would really recommend you to have one thing before you start this build. So this is not a starter. This is something you switch into as the second build. It is the cheapest version of to get to absolute end game, and it is because it stacks like damage over time in this game, or at least with wilt here, is just cracked. It is so much damage, and especially good if you want to go for a supreme showdown. It's not direct damage, so during mapping you're gonna need a little bit more damage than a direct hit build is, the ones that just shoots out the missile and then it hits the enemy and you get all the damage at once. Here you need to build up some stacks. Obviously it's not a problem when you have trillions of damage, but in early game you need a little bit more to get into a more convenient kind of play style, but it's not a big problem. So I would recommend, as soon as you have the currency, to go for one of these. Track is better than rhythm. Both of them are gonna be needed in the end game, but in the start I would get a 0.5 track minimum. Yeah, that's what I started out with, and make sure it always locked on enemies. Otherwise, if you don't have that one, it's not gonna activate. So get one 0.5, or if you have more currency, get a better one. I have a 0.3 right now, but it's not needed because you only get the extra effect of these extra seconds if you use your movement skill constantly to reset your bullets in your so you can shoot out more ice lances and get more wilt and stuff like that. Let's just start with this area, mandatory unique. The rest is just rare gear. I got into profound with some tier 2 gear, so that is like flame sand kind of gear you make with flame sand, and I was still doing profound just fine, and only some upgraded gear. I had no priceless gear or anything like that, or no legendaries with special corrodes when I got into profound. So you can do end game content with just super, why did I go out, super cheap setups. So let's go for the skills. I'm gonna jump all over the place because it's all kind of like it's synergizing with each other, and if I don't jump between all of these places, that's why you're gonna need to stay with me here and then just not copy, because then you're gonna go to the comments and say, well, I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't come up as the one you show me here. So first of all, we can take a look at the candles that are here. These two mods are really good. You can cast one additional curse. Only good if you are having 2 curses, which we're gonna take a look at in a moment. But this one is a must. Just create blessings for you all the time. We're triggering skills all the time. We're gonna have max blessings. We're also using some of these blessings for getting extra defenses and stuff like that. We're getting 1 curse from here, and then 1 curse from our ring. Later on, we're also gonna get a curse on our neck, which is gonna be which I have on my current build. I'm gonna link that one in the description also. Then we are then we're gonna just switch this one to something else. We can switch it either to black hole, or later on we're gonna use thunder spike also. So but that's much later in the setup. You want grudge here in your shackles of malice, because you are using this to additional curse effect, which is really good if you, especially if we have 2 curses. They has to go to instruction to activate it by itself. These are cost like 20 FE now or less. Grudge gives our paralyzed, increase damage taken by 15%. Please put this one in. Reap of Agony, yes, some extra reap on the enemy, which is very good. Defensive buffer I like because it uses tenacity blessings, which are generated by this candle, and then otherwise we are using this, so as soon as we move around it's get activated. So as soon as it's off cooldown, it's basically off there. Cooldown reductions to activate it more, all in for some extra evasion, and then defensive layer to just have no interrupt of our energy shield. For this we have just our auras here. It's where you go to. This one's really good. Erosion damage, and it doesn't cost that much either, so it's much lower seal conversion. If you have more sealed mana compensation, then obviously you can fit in maybe 1 more of these, and it would be erosion, the erosion one here. I decided to go with a defensive one here because when you have trillions of damage, you don't really care about getting more damage unless it's the end boss, but then you're gonna need defenses anyway. Those were the skills. We are gonna go to next. Just on your gear, you wanna look for just getting a much energy shield, cap your resistances of course, and you might be wondering why are we doing crit damage here, because we're not doing hit build, because of this modifier right here. Duration of ailment caused by critical strikes are doubled, and for each critical strike damage here. So that means every time we crit, we get a double wilt duration. That is essentially like if you hit with a crit, that's it's almost like 2 stacks of wilt, and wilt is all our damage essentially. So extremely strong. So we get some crit mod here. So I have 1 priceless gear here. This mod is cracked. Like there's so much crit here, and we are getting traumatizing on enemy through our chest piece, because this lines adds 3 base ailment damage. That's all ailments. So we have every ailment in the game on the enemy at the same time. So we are getting that activation right there. Later on, don't use this one, Beyond Cure, because we already have it on our build here in our talents. Where is it? It's one of these there. So use something else. Dirty Tricks is the best one, so absolutely godsend talent. Dirty Tricks is so good, like it is so much damage, so I highly recommend. You can get that one in the bench in the Oasis. You can craft it yourself. It's gonna cost a little bit. It's probably gonna cost like 500 to 600 FE to craft it. At least it did when I was doing it. And also Val is converting our critical strike damage to additional ailment damage. That's why we have crit damage. So this is a very good mod. Next one is we are looking mainly at this stack here. So when we get a corrosion, which I have now, we get more stacks of this. So elemental pen, really good. Here, yes, some blur effect, movement, stealth stab is very good. Additional attacking for 3 second blur ends. We are getting additional damage taken when blur is active. So all of these blur effects and stuff like that is a really good defensive layer. So these boots are really good. If you want to corrode, you want this corrode. I don't know how much it costs. It should not cost that much, actually, to see. For other gear, we are just looking for energy shield damage. We have some reap cooldown is absolutely king in the end game. So when you start building up your, I would suggest you start with your scepters. The implicit you want, or the base affix is a blur effect. It's really, really good. You can also go for additional damage, or there's a bunch of different ones that you can go for. And these are the stats you want to go for. The only one interchangeable is intelligence and cold skill level. Cold skill level is better when you have it upgraded to tier 0, but intelligence is better in the early game because you're not going to upgrade your stats. So I had to upgrade my cold skill level in the start. I did it on 1 click, so I got lucky, I guess. Yeah, the general gist of it. Please take a look at these modifiers at your own convenience, and then just go for it. Pets are here. These are really good. The new pet is really good, so I would replace the new one for this season. It's gonna go here, much better. Otherwise you can just go with any affliction pet or dot pet or reap pet or anything that goes there. You want reap duration on all of these, so I have 9 reap duration of the small one and 4 of the big ones. Super strong, don't sleep on that. That is just free damage. And yeah, for our here, it's not very important because I went with attack and spell block. It's only for end game I pick these up because I want to go full block and 100% block and spell block and attack block, and then use specific kismets to increase block ratio, which means I'm gonna take 60% less damage from all sources, which is ludicrously strong for defenses in the end game, but it costs a lot. I'm gonna need to re-roll these 100 times to get that, or not 100 times, probably thousands of times, and that's gonna cost a lot of FE. For our slates, it is a bunch of stats. I highly recommend to look at minmaxed guide on these. He has a whole build guide. I will link that in the description. When it comes to this document, when you can go through, he has a tier list. He also streams on Twitch. Please go and check him out because he is the king on this build. He has helped me a lot when it comes to building up my own character in this league or in the previous league. So you also want jumps. You make sure you have an equal amount of jumps. So I have 1, 2 there. Did I have more? Yeah, 1, 2 there. There's 4. So this is an uneven amount of jumps, which is not good. You want an even amount of jumps because how they jump on the floor and then split up or something like that. It's a lot of, just trust me on this. You want an even amount because otherwise it's not gonna fit. Like, your total jumps needs to equate to an even number or you're gonna lose out on DPS. You can try to push one, take one off and then see if the damage goes up or down. That way you can see if you had an even amount or an uneven amount. Yeah. You want seal mana compensation here, so you can re-roll this as many times as you want because together with these two we can fit all our auras in, and we can only do that if you have that, because this one, especially the one that seals from life, will not activate. All of these need to be maxed. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten a build code and then I can't fit in all my auras. It's because it's not maxed. Like, you need these maxed, otherwise it's not gonna work. And you're gonna need that 1.5 plus the 10 here. The rest we get from the tree, and in this one, sealed mana conversion, and that's enough to fit in. You can get for more sources and then fit in one more 50 aura, which will be the erosion one, but no, I'm gonna go with this setup, and I don't want to spend any more stats because my slates currently are really good. It's not these slates. There's a bunch of stats and stuff like that. You can check out again MinMax guide about this. He has a tier list on slate mods, and he has a tier list on everything, so really good guide overall there. Did I miss anything? The rest you can just copy. You can take a look here at my build currently. I put a corruption here, and I've Tangling Pain. I've upgraded some of these, and yeah, I went with Dirty Tricks here, super important. I'm gonna craft this one, physical damage taken, which was super expensive to get. Yeah, almost 2,000 just for that base. It's probably not gonna be needed, but yeah. And we are also switching over to 2 setups here, with one with track and one with rhythm. You can have 2 rhythm if you want to, but here Thunderspike is putting num stacks on this, and this is so strong in endgame because of this slate right here. I have conductivity. This is like you put 10 stacks of num on the enemy, which means that's 100% additional damage taken. That is ludicrous, and you can get a lot of num effect on your gear, on your helmet, and on your slates, which means it's going to be like 150 extra, but it's going to take some investment and stuff like that, which we're going to talk about when I'm actually kill the SS the Supreme Showdown boss. Did I miss any area here? Hopefully I didn't, and I will link in the description. MinMax, please check him out on Twitch and everything. He will answer your questions there. That's how I got on some of the answers. I also have him on Discord. Discord is also a good avenue to go down. Join the official Discord and go to the Carino channel and ask your questions there. Sometimes I answer, sometimes other people answer, or it's very helpful community overall. Yeah. So hopefully I can get back to this and get my #1 slot back. I really need it. I wonder if anyone has killed #1 here. No. See. Oh yeah, I need to update this. I need to kill him with 3 stars. Oh, I could be the first one. I need to hurry. So thank you for watching, and I get back to you as soon as I have the SS20 kill.